Night sky above Ravenwood, a small mountain town isolated by dense forests and cold winds, shimmered strangely, brighter than usual, as if the stars were restless. Ravenwood was the kind of place where nothing extraordinary ever happened. People slept early, the streets emptied before midnight, and silence spread across the valley like a blanket. Except tonight. Inside a lonely metal building on top of Hawthorne Hill, Liam Carter, 26-year-old radio technician, sat hunched over an array of buzzing equipment. He wore headphones pushed halfway up his ears, tapping a pen against his desk as he monitored radio frequencies. This job was boring for most people, but Liam liked the solitude. He liked the predictability. But at 12:17 a.m., predictability shattered. His receiver emitted a harsh, piercing sound so sudden that Liam nearly fell out of his chair. He yanked his headphones off, staring at the monitor in disbelief. It wasn't static. It wasn't interference. It wasn't human. It was a pattern. 3 long pulses, 2 short, 3 long. Liam leaned closer, replaying the sequence. His heart thudded heavily. He had monitored emergency frequencies for years and had never heard anything like this. It felt intelligent, deliberate. As he reached for a recording device, his entire console went dark. Screens black, lights out, silence. Then the overhead bulb flickered and died. Outside, the entire valley plunged into darkness. Liam stepped outside, stunned. Ravenwood's houses, which normally glowed faint yellow, were pitch black. No streetlights, no electricity, no sound. Then he looked up. The stars were moving, not drifting like satellites, not falling like meteors. They were shifting, forming a perfect triangular shape in the sky. "What is that?" Liam whispered, unable to breathe. The triangle of lights hovered silently, impossibly still. Then one of them detached, slow, controlled, descending toward the valley like a glowing white star breaking formation. The air crackled with electricity. Liam felt the hairs on his arms stand upright. The object stopped 100 meters above the ground. It pulsed with a soft, alien rhythm. Then it opened. Not like a hatch, more like petals unfurling on a mechanical flower. A swirling vortex of silver-blue light roared inside the center. Liam swallowed hard, stepping backward instinctively. A shape emerged. Tall, too tall, thin, too thin. Unnatural in every way. Its limbs bent at angles that made Liam's stomach twist. Its skin shimmered like wet metal. Its eyes were 2 swirling pits of black, ringed with faint spirals of shifting light. The creature turned its head slowly, observing Ravenwood as if scanning it. Then it looked directly at Liam. The world froze. The alien opened its mouth, wide, wider, impossibly wide, and unleashed a scream. But it wasn't an audible scream. It was inside Liam's mind, slicing into his thoughts like jagged glass. Liam collapsed to his knees, clutching his head. His vision blurred. His heartbeat became a frantic drum. "Stop! Stop! Stop!" The scream dug deeper. Suddenly, houses across Ravenwood lit up with a blinding white flash. A beam of silent energy shot from the alien's hand, slicing through the first row of buildings like paper. They didn't burn. They disintegrated into floating ash. Liam stared in horror as families, people he knew, vanished in an instant. The alien tilted its head, fascinated by its own destruction. The psychic scream intensified. Liam tasted blood. He forced himself to crawl backward, his legs trembling beyond control. "No, please," he gasped, though he knew begging meant nothing. The creature turned away from the burning houses and focused again on Liam. Its black eyes narrowed, it blinked and disappeared. Liam froze. A cold, clawed hand gripped his shoulder from behind. The alien had teleported. Its breath was icy, brushing against the side of Liam's neck, whispering, no, injecting strange echoes into his mind. Words from a language older than humanity. Liam could feel its intentions. It wanted information. It wanted fear. It wanted him silent. A roar ripped through the sky. A military jet screamed past overhead, firing flares. The alien jerked its head upward, hissing. The claw released Liam. In an instant, the creature's body dissolved into a stream of light and shot back into the floating orb above. The orb sealed shut, rose rapidly, and rejoined the 2 remaining lights in the sky. The triangular formation pulsed once and shot into the heavens. Silence collapsed over the valley. The fires of Ravenwood crackled in the distance. Smoke rose in twisting columns. Liam, shaking uncontrollably, forced himself to stand. He staggered toward the valley, staring at the devastation. Homes burned silently. Streets were torn apart. Cars lay melted into black puddles. Silver dust coated everything like a strange snow. Body still standing, still staring, frozen in place as if death had caught them mid-breath. Liam covered his mouth, fighting a gag. He was alive, but Ravenwood was gone. He felt watched. He felt chosen. And he knew the truth. This wasn't an attack. This was a test. Ravenwood, coughing as smoke thickened the air. The night sky glowed a sinister orange, lit by fires devouring homes and stores. The once quiet town was now a graveyard of twisted metal and drifting silver ash, ash that shimmered unnaturally under the moonlight. He moved shakily past what used to be the bakery. The building was sliced clean in half. A car lay overturned, its metal melted like wax. A dog stood frozen mid-stride, turned to a statue of grey dust. Liam squeezed his eyes shut. He couldn't process it. He didn't want to. But he wasn't alone. A voice whispered urgently from behind him, "Hey! Hey! Over here!" He spun around. A woman stepped out from behind an overturned bus, her face streaked with soot, her green eyes wide but alert. Dr. Evelyn Brooks, a biologist from the local research centre. Liam remembered meeting her once during a radio repair job. She was calm, composed, and now scared in a way he had never seen. "You survived?" Evelyn breathed. "So did you," Liam said, still dazed. Before either could say more, footsteps echoed behind the bus. A thin teenage girl limped out, messy hair, dirt on her cheeks, clutching a cracked camera tightly against her chest. I got it on video," she whispered. "The light, the thing inside it. I recorded everything." Her name was Maya Lopez, a local high schooler who filmed everything for her online channel. Another figure approached, stumbling, bleeding, but fierce. Sheriff Grant, Ravenwood's tough-as-nails sheriff, grunted as he pressed a cloth against a wound on his forehead. "Anyone else alive?" he asked. Evelyn shook her head. "We haven't seen anyone." Grant cursed under his breath. This wasn't a storm, wasn't an explosion. This was an attack. Liam nodded slowly. "I saw it. It came from the sky. And it's still out there," Evelyn added, glancing upward nervously. As if on cue, the ground vibrated beneath them. A low, rumbling sound, like metal grinding against metal, echoed across the ruined streets. Grant raised his shotgun. "Stay behind me." A shadow moved through the smoke. Huge, slow, wrong. Then the creature stepped into view. It was taller than the first one Liam saw, its skin darker, almost obsidian black, with glowing red veins pulsing along its body. Its arms were long, ending in razor claws. Its eyes were blood-red, scanning the ruins with predatory intelligence. It wasn't the same alien from before. It was a hunter. The alien tilted its head, sensing something. Its gaze locked on the group. "Run," Liam whispered. The alien hissed, then charged. Grant fired his shotgun. Boom! The blast hitting the creature's chest, but it barely slowed. In a split second, the alien reached Grant, lifting him by the neck with terrifying strength. "No!" Maya cried. Grant gasped for air, kicking helplessly as the alien studied him like an insect pinned under a microscope. Its red eyes narrowed. Then, the alien's claw shot through Grant's throat. Blood splattered across the cracked pavement. Evelyn grabbed Liam's arm. "Move!" The three survivors sprinted down an alley, stumbling over debris and bodies. The alien leaped after them with explosive speed. Its footsteps cracked the pavement like bombs. Liam glanced back. Its glowing eyes were closing in fast. "In here!" Evelyn shouted. She pointed at a metal hatch on the ground, the entrance to the old sewer maintenance tunnels. Maya dove in first, then Evelyn. Liam slid inside last, slamming the steel hatch shut. Boom! The alien's claws slammed repeatedly against the hatch, each hit denting the metal. Boom! Boom! Maya screamed, covering her ears. Evelyn held her tightly. "Don't look, don't listen." Liam braced the hatch with his full body weight. It's breaking through. He could hear the alien's breath, deep, guttural, furious. Then, silence. Not peaceful silence. Predatory silence. "Did it leave?" Maya whispered. Liam put an ear to the hatch. Nothing. He took a shaky breath. For now. The sewer tunnels were pitch black, except for a faint emergency light flickering weakly. Water dripped somewhere deep inside. The smell of rust, mold, and smoke filled the narrow passage. They walked slowly, the sound of their own footsteps echoing off the walls. Every few meters they heard muffled thuds from above, distant explosions, collapsing buildings, and the hum of alien aircraft. "What do they want?" Maya whispered. "Why us? Why Ravenwood?" Evelyn replied, voice trembling but thoughtful. "This wasn't random. That wasn't a simple attack. It was reconnaissance, a scan, maybe even a test." Liam shivered. "Then what comes next?" Before Evelyn could answer, a booming explosion shook the tunnel. Dirt rained from above. The survivors nearly fell as the ground trembled violently. When they reached the exit hatch on the far end of the tunnels, Liam pushed it open slowly. They emerged at the outskirts of Ravenwood. The forest was burning in orange and blue flame. The sky above was filled with dozens, no hundreds of alien ships. Smaller craft swarmed like black insects. Fire rained down on distant towns. "What the hell?" Maya whispered, tears sliding down her face. This wasn't a local attack. This was global. Liam's stomach twisted. The whole world is being hit. Aircraft shot missiles into the sky, but they vanished, absorbed by shimmering blue shields around the ships. Evelyn clenched her fists. "They're wiping us out, like we're pests." A buzzing sound filled the air. 3 smaller alien drones swooped over the forest, each projecting a red scanning beam that cut through trees like lasers. "They're sweeping the area," Liam yelled. The survivors ran deeper into the woods. Drone shots burst behind them, exploding trees into splinters. One drone swooped low, its claws extended. Maya screamed as it grabbed her by the throat, lifting her into the air. "No!" Liam lunged. He grabbed a sharp piece of metal debris from the ground and stabbed the drone's optical sensor. The drone shrieked, dropping Maya. Sparks flew from its head as it spiraled into a tree and exploded. Maya coughed violently. I'm okay. Liam, thank you." "We need cover," Evelyn shouted. Liam pointed toward a metal door half buried under vines. "There, Sheriff Grant showed me this years ago, an old military bunker." They rushed inside, slamming the reinforced door shut. Dust fell from the ceiling. Old fluorescent lights flickered on. Inside were metal shelves covered with dusty equipment, maps pinned to walls, emergency kits, a dormant generator, radios, and something else. A corkboard full of classified documents. Evelyn's eyes widened as she read one of the yellowed papers. "What is it?" Liam asked. She slowly turned toward him. "They knew." "Knew what?" Maya asked. Evelyn pointed to a waveform diagram. "This signal, this pattern, they detected it decades ago. The same pulses you heard tonight." Liam felt the blood drain from his face. "They've been watching Earth for years." Evelyn whispered. "And now," Maya said softly, "they've decided to come." A deep vibration. The bunker trembled again. Dust drifting from the ceiling, tiny stones rolling across the concrete floor. A low humming sound, mechanical, sinister, vibrated through the walls. "They're scanning the bunker," Evelyn whispered. Maya clutched her camera. "Can they get in?" Liam didn't want to answer. Instead, he ran to the old generator in the corner. "If we can get this running, we might be able to power the radios. Maybe someone out there is still alive." Evelyn nodded quickly. "I'll help." Maya pressed herself against the far wall, eyes darting. "I don't want to die here, not like the sheriff, not like everyone." Liam locked eyes with her. "We're not dying, not today." But deep inside, he wasn't sure. The humming outside grew louder, more focused, like something was charging up. "Work! Work!" Liam growled as he pulled the starter cord. The generator sputtered, coughed, and then chug, chug, chug. It came alive, shaking the entire bunker. Emergency lights brightened. 2 radios flickered. Liam scrambled to the largest one and twisted the knobs. Static. Nothing. Static again. Then a crackling voice burst through. "Any survivors, repeat, Los Angeles, under heavy attack. Do not, repeat, do not engage." The signal cut off with a sharp scream, followed by silence. Maya covered her mouth. Oh my God. Another signal came through, this one from Asia. Beijing, falling, ships dropping, biological. More static. Then a desperate last whisper. "They are not invading, they are cleansing." Silence again. The world was collapsing. Cities Liam had dreamed of visiting, gone. Entire continents screaming into their radios, gone. Evelyn's hands shook. "We have minutes before they break through." Bang! A seismic impact rattled the bunker. Something enormous landed on the surface above. The air inside vibrated, as if a massive heartbeat pulsed through the ground. Maya whispered, "It's right above us." Another bang. Closer. Louder. Metal creaked overhead. Liam grabbed a wrench, the closest thing to a weapon. "If something comes through that door, run. Don't hesitate." Evelyn picked up a rusted metal pipe. "Run where? The earth is being erased." Liam didn't answer. He couldn't. The ceiling groaned, then split. A razor-sharp claw punched through concrete like it was paper. Chunks of stone crashed to the floor. Maya screamed as sparks burst from the light fixtures. A monstrous shape descended through the crack. Not the tall, thin alien, not the hunter with glowing veins. Something far worse. It was huge, its body armored with black organic plates, its limbs like twisted spears. Its head had no eyes, only a wide, circular mouth filled with rotating teeth like a mechanical saw. Evelyn gasped. It's a breach creature. It dropped into the bunker, landing with a bone-shaking thud. The temperature plummeted instantly, the air freezing around its presence. The creature let out a deep metallic roar. Liam shouted, "Run!" Evelyn and Maya dashed toward the maintenance tunnel on the far side of the bunker. Liam swung the wrench at the creature's leg. It didn't even feel it. The alien's arm lashed out, knocking Liam backward into a shelf of supplies. Pain exploded through his ribs. The creature lunged toward Maya. Evelyn shoved Maya aside, taking the hit. The creature's claws plunged into Evelyn's abdomen. "No!" Maya screamed. Blood poured from Evelyn's mouth as she slid off the alien's arm. She collapsed to the floor, gasping. "It's okay," she whispered, smiling weakly at Liam. "Just go." Liam's heart cracked, but he grabbed Maya's arm. "Move, Maya! Now!" They sprinted into the narrow tunnel just as the creature slammed into the doorway, screeching in rage, its teeth spinning like a saw. The tunnel echoed with their footsteps as they ran through choking dust. Behind them, metal screamed, the creature tearing the bunker apart. "We're not going to outrun it," Maya cried. Liam spotted a rusty ladder leading upward toward a sealed hatch. "Climb!" "Go!" Maya scrambled up. Liam followed. The creature's screeches grew louder, closer, echoing like a nightmare. Maya shoved the hatch open. Cold night air rushed in. The moment they emerged, Liam grabbed her hand and ran. The forest was burning. Alien drones drifted between trees like metallic ghosts. Massive ships hovered in the sky, dropping beams of light that erased entire sections of the landscape. Maya stumbled. "Where are we going? There's nowhere left." Liam pointed to the mountain ridge. "There's an old observatory at the top. Thick walls, radios, maybe another bunker." They ran through the woods, branches slashing at their arms and faces. Behind them, the breach creature tore through the ground, bursting upward in an explosion of soil and fire. It screeched, a horrifying, echoing sound that shook the night. "Keep running!" Liam shouted. Drones spotted them, beams sweeping dangerously close. Trees exploded around them. The forest floor trembled as the huge creature charged uphill. Finally, the observatory came into view, its dome cracked but still standing. They bolted inside. The building was dusty, old, but still intact. Maya pushed a heavy table against the door. Liam locked the steel bar across it. The creature slammed against the outer wall a second later, shaking the whole structure. Maya sobbed. "It's not leaving. It will," Liam said, though his voice quivered. He climbed the stairs to the top dome room. An old telescope pointed at the sky. A dusty control desk sat nearby. He froze. The sky was filled with alien ships, thousands now, covering the earth like a swarm. Maya joined him, trembling. "Liam, is this the end?" Liam didn't answer. A new light appeared in the sky, a brilliant blue-white beam shining straight down onto the Earth's surface. It wasn't fire, it was something else, something worse. "It's a terraforming beam." Evelyn had once explained how such a weapon would work, altering an entire planet to suit another species. Maya backed away slowly. "They're changing Earth." Liam's voice cracked. "They're replacing us." The beam spread, growing wider, devouring the horizon. The creature outside shrieked triumphantly, as if it understood victory was near. Liam took a trembling breath. "This isn't a war anymore," he whispered. "It's extinction." Echoed through the underground bunker as the remaining survivors scrambled into defensive positions. Red warning lights flickered on and off, bathing the concrete walls in a pulsing, blood-colored glow. Commander Elena Torres stood at the central console, sweat and dust smeared across her face. She had lost half her team, maybe more. But retreat was no longer an option. Above them, the alien leviathans circled the city like vultures waiting for the final breath. "Power core at 12%, shouted Dr. Malik, frantically typing into a cracked terminal. "We don't have long before the entire bunker loses electricity." Elena tightened her jaw. "We finish this before that happens." A deep rumble shook the bunker, dust raining from the ceiling. Another blow from the alien burrowers. They were getting closer. The plan hours earlier, Elena had discovered classified files buried in the military archives, proof that the aliens communicated through a central neural hive controlled by a single organism known as the Overmind. If they could destroy it, the entire swarm would collapse. Now they stood just meters above the Overmind's subterranean nest. "We're heading down," Elena said, loading her rifle. "If anyone wants to leave, this is your last chance." No one moved. Not Dr. Malik, not Sergeant Hayes, not the 3 civilians they had rescued along the way. Fear was carved into their faces, but so was determination. "Then let's end this." Descent into darkness. The group moved through a narrow tunnel lit only by the flickering beams of their flashlights. Alien slime coated the walls, pulsating faintly like living tissue. The deeper they went, the hum of energy became louder, like 1,000 whispering voices merging into one. Suddenly, a screech echoed through the passage. "Contact!" Hayes yelled. 2 alien drones lunged from the shadows, bone-white, multi-legged creatures with jaws that split open like unfolding knives. Gunfire erupted. Elena dodged a claw swipe, firing point-blank into its skull. The creature collapsed, twitching. The second one leaped at Doc, but Hayes tackled it, plunging a combat knife deep into its throat. Breathing heavily, Elena checked her team. "Move. We're close." The Overmind chamber. The tunnel opened into a massive cavern, an underground cathedral carved by alien biology. At the center stood the Overmind, a towering mass of translucent flesh and glowing neural tendrils. It pulsed like a giant heart, every beat sending ripples through the air. Its presence filled Elena's mind instantly, an overwhelming wave of emotions, hunger, rage, domination. She stumbled, clutching her head. "You feel it," Dr. Malik said. "It's communicating, trying to control us." Large drones emerged from crevices in the walls, encircling the humans. Elena steadied her rifle. "Make a path to its core. Hayes, distract them! Malik, plant the charge!" Hayes charged forward, firing, shouting, drawing the drones away. The civilians followed, weapons shaking but firing bravely. Elena sprinted toward the Overmind's glowing nucleus, protecting Malik as he activated the explosive device, a compact neutron destabilizer. 30 seconds, Malik yelled. A drone pounced on him, pinning him down. Elena fired at its legs, but another slammed her into the cavern wall. Her rifle skittered across the floor. Dazed, she reached for her combat blade and stabbed the creature repeatedly until it fell limp. Malik was coughing blood but smiling weakly. "Finish it, Elena!" She dragged him behind a rock formation. "Stay with me!" But the count hit 5 seconds. The Overmind screamed, a mental roar that shook the cavern. Drones rushed toward the bomb. "No!" Elena ran, diving forward as the timer hit 0. A blinding flash of white consumed everything. Collapse of the Hive. Elena opened her eyes to silence. The Overmind was gone. Its cavern was collapsing. Walls cracking, alien flesh shriveling. Dead drones littered the ground like broken machinery. She pushed herself up. "Malik? Hayes? Anyone?" Hayes emerged, limping, dragging 2 of the civilians. "We did it. They all just dropped." But Malik was motionless. Elena knelt beside him. His eyes stared upward, peaceful. She bowed her head. "You saved humanity," she whispered. A massive quake shook the cavern. The entire Hive was imploding. "We need to get out, now!" Hayes yelled. The escape. They sprinted through the collapsing tunnels as explosions of dust and alien tissue burst around them. A massive chunk of ceiling fell behind Elena, nearly crushing her. The survivors climbed through a final breach, emerging into the early morning light. The sky was clearing. Alien ships in the atmosphere spiraled out of control, crashing like dying stars. Without the Overmind, they were powerless, mindless husks drifting toward destruction. The sun rose, painting the ruined city in gold. "It's over," Hayes said, but Elena shook her head. "This battle is over. The war. We'll see." She looked up at the sky, where somewhere beyond, an entire alien civilization had lost its fleet. Would they come searching? For now, Earth had survived. That was enough. Epilogue. Weeks later, reconstruction began. Elena stood at a memorial wall, her hand resting on Malik's engraved name. A young girl approached her, one of the civilians they had saved. "Commander," the girl said softly, "Mom says you're a hero." Elena smiled faintly. Heroes are the ones who didn't make it home. As she turned to leave, she spotted something glowing faintly in the rubble, a piece of alien tech pulsating softly. Not dead, not gone. Her eyes narrowed. "Round 2, she whispered, and the world braced for whatever would come next.